Welcome to the Metal Mixtape here on kskqdjramo 89.5 FM Ashland, Oregon, 94.1 FM Medford, Oregon, streaming online on kskqdjramo. It's the boy, it's the Don, DJ Ramo. We have the honor, the privilege to talk to the legends, the legends, the extraordinaries, Steve Zing. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing great, my friend.
You know what? We have so much to dive into. You have this amazing new album, The Waiting, that I listened to like 4 times throughout this whole week. I can't get Go Go Little One out of my head. That's like my favorite freaking song. It's just so freaking good. The whole album is freaking good. But the thing is, man, you've done so much in your career that I have to dive in a little bit before we hit this album. Is that okay?
Alright, let's do it.
So, Steve, so I always think that, like, you know, when people grow up, you know, like, you know, they get inspired by somebody. Maybe they have musicians in their family. Tell us a little bit about your childhood and maybe your teenage years on how, like, you became this guy, you know, and you were able to create this whole dream and manifest this whole dream. Like, what was your childhood like, and how was it when you first started playing music?
You know, you just hit a magic word there. You said manifest. And basically that's what I've done my entire life is manifest. So, yeah, I was lucky to grow up. I had family members that were musicians, so that kind of rubbed off on me. And from my early childhood that I can remember, I was always interested in music. I had an aunt that taught me some piano. My mom had bought me a cheap guitar, but didn't have the patience to learn guitar. And of course, as a kid, I was watching Elvis Aloha from Hawaii as it aired. I was a little kid. I saw the drummer Ronnie Tuttle, and I was just like taken aback. It was amazing. Because I went to school with Doyle from the Misfits from kindergarten through high school, I got to go to a really early rehearsal of theirs, and I sat in the corner and I watched them rehearse, and I knew right there and then that I was going to do that. And I remember looking at Danzig and thinking, I'm going to be in a band with that guy someday.
Yes.
And I manifested that until it came true. So that's, you know what they say, be careful what you wish for, you just may get it.
That's so beautiful, man, dude. That is so sick. Now, I love hearing these stories, and that's so cool. I would have never known unless I talked to you that, like, you had all these musicians in your family, and the fact that you got to go sit in on them, that's so cool that you got to go to school and like not only you become successful, you see your friends become successful. After, you know, looking at it back now when you were a kid and looking at it today, is playing all these stages, getting some fame, getting that rock star, is it everything you thought it would be once you reached that point where you were playing big stages, playing with big names? Did it all like come full circle? Like, did you expect it to be this way?
It's everything I dream of and more. I never thought that, you know, that I would get to play in front of 80,000 people, get to headline arenas and, you know, play with bands like Kiss and things like that, and, you know, beyond my wildest dreams. It's still a dream that comes true over and over and over. And I never take it for granted. Because, you know, you play every show like it's your last. This is the music business. You know, they have a saying in this business. They say, here today, gone later today. And we're fortunate that we're not that, but you never take advantage of it. And you give it your all, and you do the best that you can.
Oh, I love it, dude. You know what? One of my favorite things about these interviews, man, that, like, as a musician myself, like, that just is so inspiring to me, dude. And just so thank you for that. Steve, you know, in a lot of people's careers when they're starting up, I feel like a lot of times we play our first big show, and that's like the show that kind of like changes our gears, you know, because I know a lot of musicians that, like, you know, they'll play a couple shows and then they hit it on tour, and they get hit completely different because tour live, everything's different. What's your first big show that you had, like, for you personally, that, like, you thought, like, meant a lot to you, that you played where you were just, like, Steve, I think we've done it. Like this is it. Like this is your shot. Did you ever have a show like that?
You know, I think it was early on in Champaign where we headlined a show on Thanksgiving Eve out in Hollywood, and we had 2,000 people come to the show, and you sit there and you're like, wow, 2,000 people are coming to see us play. This is pretty fucking cool. Like, you know, so you come to the realizations of, you know, and then even in Danzig, Danzig is probably, we've been the most successful in the band's career the past, I would say, 5 to 7 years, playing bigger and bigger places. And, you know, when you think that it doesn't get any better, it still gets better. So it's a true blessing to be able to do that continuously. It's also, it's a lot of work. It's hard work. It's, you know, to maintain that, you know, you have to keep integrity.
Yeah.
Because without it, you have nothing. And Glenn Danzig is very, very good at protecting the brand. And he's got a formula that works and wins, and he doesn't accept mediocrity.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I love hearing that. That inspired the fuck out of me, man.
Well, you know, one thing he taught me is you got to be true to yourself. You got to love what you put out. It doesn't matter if everybody else loves it. At the end of the day, whatever you put out, especially in today's day and age, it's going to last forever on some kind of platform somewhere. So if you're not happy with it, how do you expect anybody else to be?
Oh, that hits deep, man. You know, and it's tough because, like, you know, when you start bands and everything, you know, everybody's a songwriter. There's so many creative juices, and it's pretty cool, like, that everybody bought into, like, Glenn and having that idea. And I mean, and you've been in multiple projects, and you just seem like you're obsessed with music.
You know, I love music. I love all types of music. I mean, I don't just like rock. You know, if it's a good song, it's a good song. And I don't care if you're Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake. I don't care. You know, if you got a great song, you got a great song. You know, hats off to you.
That's honorable.
You know, look, you know, you gotta respect people, especially for being in this business to begin with. It's a cutthroat business. It's a business that will, you know, just chew you up and spit you out because they can. So again, you can't take it for granted, and you gotta enjoy the moments.
I love it. So, Steve, your new album, The Waiting, it's very awesome. I also noticed that you have, like, musicians helping you out. Why don't you tell us a little, before we dive into some tracks, why don't you tell us some people that you featured on the album and how you got this whole thing created?
Well, we have
for Blak29.
Yeah, we have 2 songs on there. One is a cover of the Hollies' Long Cool Woman, and the other is from the Kinks, Destroyer.
Yep, I noticed that.
Yeah, so I was asked to do a duet from our label, Cleopatra, with Jersey from the 69 Eyes, a Finnish band.
Fuck yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of hard, like, thinking, like, what am I going to do? What two guys are going to sing, right? It's not like Freddie Mercury and David Bowie. So I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I picked 2 songs that when I was growing up, kind of hit a nerve with me. And it worked. And then I asked Johnny Kelly, obviously from Typo Negative, and Danzig, and Tommy Victor, Prong and Danzig. You know, they're like my 2 other brothers. And I asked them if they would, you know, be so kind to lend me their talents, and they did. And I thought it came out amazing.
No, it did, man. You have all sorts of awesome songs here. I love the groove in it. I feel like every song on the album really connects. For me, I really liked Blackout. I really liked Waiting for the Sun to Go Down, but for some reason, I'm just a sucker for Go-Go Little One. It's that lead guitar that comes in. But the thing is, it's like you also like you change your attitude to the song. Like it gets really bright, and then it gets kind of dark, and then it gets bright, and then it's kind of dark. It gets pretty, and then I just love it, man. Is there a specific song on this album? Let's just say this. Let's say you have a listener. He only has 5 minutes to live. If you had to pick one song to recommend from this album to that one person has left to live, what song would you choose from this album for him?
That's a tough one, but I'd have to say Blackout, and I'll tell you why.
Fuck yeah.
So Blackout to me represents, like, it's got that punk element, with a little bit of that gothic flair, and it just hits a nerve with me. It's simple, but to the point. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow we go in and we record a video for that. So
yes, sweet.
Look out.
Yeah, no, like I said, this album is great, and for any listeners out there in Ashland, there's something a little bit for everybody. And Long Cool Woman is another great one, like I was saying with Jerky from the 69 Eyes, which is CD only, so everybody go pick up a CD, watch the music videos, subscribe, like, check them all out. Is it okay if I ask you 3 to 4 to 5 questions before we end the interview? Just a bunch of randos?
Absolutely.
All right. I grew up as a massive AFI fan. If you could describe Davey Havoc in one word, how would you describe him?
Eclectic.
Eclectic?
Sure.
All right. I like it. Yeah, because you were son of Sam, right? Was him?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's sick, man. You gotta be with Davey Havoc and Glenn. You've got to share the stage with a lot of awesome musicians. How would you explain Glenn in one word?
Wow. One word. Powerful.
I like it. Steve, if you were in a zombie apocalypse and you only had one weapon to destroy the zombie horde that isn't the nuke or the cure, how would you kill zombies?
Wow. Come on. I was gonna say nuke.
That's easy though.
I can't use a nuke. Well, I mean, well, I'll tell you what, I do own a flamethrower, so I'd have to sit here and use my flamethrower.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, that's so sick. Alright, if you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would you choose to kill you and how would they do it?
Oh, man. You're asking me to choose my own death?
By somebody in a horror movie, it could be Jason, Freddy, Needle Nose, anybody.
If we're looking at it like that, I'd say it'd have to be Freddy. Just slice me up, throw me out to pasture for the animals to eat, I guess.
All right, so on tour, not everything is pretty. What's the biggest disaster you've ever had on stage?
On stage?
Yeah.
Sure. When your monitors don't work, or when they forget to turn certain things on because there's all these game brains that are working mixing boards and whatnot that don't really know what they're doing or shouldn't be there. There's all kinds of fun stuff like that. Or when I don't know, one time a light fell and almost hit me in the head.
Oh my God.
Killed me. Yeah. So always fun things like that.
Throughout your whole career, is there a band that you opened for, that you got to meet, that you were really happy that they were nice to you, that they were just nice, good people?
Well, we didn't open for them, but they opened for us. It was The Damned.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorite bands growing up, and they were super nice. I even got to sing at their sound check with them.
Oh.
That was like, check off know, it was one of the dream come true.
Dude, Steve, that is awesome. Steve, I appreciate you so much for making time for the Metal Mixtape. It's been just such a pleasure talking to you, hearing stories. Everybody, Blak29, the new album, The Waiting, is so fantastic. All the songs are great. Check out Blackout. Check out, like I said, Go Go Little One. There's so many things on there for any fans of rock and roll would enjoy. Steve Zing, before I let you go, can you say this is Steve Zing and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Hold on.
No worries.
This is Steve Zing. This is Steve Zing, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape.
Steve, I appreciate you so much. Stay safe out there in the snow, and just thank you so much for inspiring me today, and just being a great guy and a model musician for people who want to accomplish their dreams.
Thank you. Are you in Medford?
Yeah, I'm in Medford. I live in Medford. I'm working in Ashland right now.
I love Medford.
Dude, come down here and throw me a prize for your band. I throw festivals down here too. So,
Crater Lake.
Huh?
Crater Lake.
Oh, I love it. Crater Lake's the shit.
and the Rogue Regency Inn.
I don't think I
actually stayed there.
Was it nice?
No.
See,
I've traveled to Medford throughout the Rogue International Airport many times.
All right. Steve, thank you so much for being on the Metal Mixtape. I'll be airing this on the radio tomorrow and putting it all over the social medias. And just thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.